Something about you is different. Some kind of energy's messing with all the chemicals in my brain. Feel the temperature rising, that look in your eyes paralyzing. Forever you're never leaving my face. Heart is racing here now, never wanna wait out. I want you right up to the end. Oh, you know what I'm feeling, even if it doesn't make sense. You don't have to guess, no. You're a minor. Something about you is different. Some kind of energy's missing with all the chemicals in my brain. Feel the temperature rising, that look in your eyes paralyzing. Forever you'll never leave in my veins. Heart is racing here now, never wanna wait out. I want you right up to the end. Oh, you know what I'm feeling, even if it doesn't make sense. You don't have to guess, no. You're a minor.
What's up, everybody? Let me see how to do this. Why is there an oval? No one's going to be on the live stream. I'm not sure how to do this. How do we get this oval off of here? Oh, no, 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 no. Escape. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I am learning how to use this StreamYards. So no one's going to be live streaming on here, so everybody will watch this app. Just fast forward it. This is like a introduction video. Why does there a circle there is beyond me. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. I don't know why there is a circle around me. Setting. Maybe that is better. Maybe that's better. No, it's not better. Well, I do not know why I have a. I don't know why I have a circle around me. But anyways, what's up, everybody? I don't know if I'll keep this video up. This is kind of a test stream. So welcome to the channel. And this channel is about family court, you know, family court issues, matters, everything in between. Particularly uh, custody. If people need help with uh, child support, I do have a very sharp brother who, man, it's unbelievable. But yeah, this is all new to me. I'm used to doing other stuff on YouTube. This is very new to me, so excuse me. Other streams will be, I'm just raw, rugged. It is what it is, but I'll give you vast amounts of information. So there's many ways to skin a cat, as most of you guys know. And I've been dealing with family courts for, man, well over 20 years. So it's been a long time. I got a lot of, especially with custody and visitation. That's my thing. Custody, visitation, CPS. That is, that is my thing. So I help people out with that stuff. Um, you know, anything that you see me doing is I give it to you guys. A lot of people on here, charge for everything, which I don't. I mean, it is what it is. There are scammers out here, but my camera. Oh, wait, my camera's on the opposite way. I need to switch it. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me see which one. Okay. Which one is the killer? Oh my God, come on. I don't like this flip look. No, I'm not a video file. What am I doing? Settings. Okay, here we go. Mirror. Okay, there we go. I think that was better because if I'm pointing to something, it's going to be right here, here. Okay, yeah. This is better. Okay. And again, no one is probably going to see this video. This you guys will see this a lot later. Like I said, my videos are going to be long. They're going to be lengthy. They're going to be packed with information. It just is what it is. Um, you know. So, um, where was I? Um, I've just been dealing with family court for a very long time. Like I said, people charge for information. I give it out. I help people out. Because the only way for change is education. And one of the main things right now is, you know, they're destroying what is keeping us all free for the most part, which is the Constitution. If you understand the Constitution, understand the Republic, understand the framework of government, okay, which stems from the Constitution, and understand that we are the power. They're not the power. You gotta get rid of that. Trump administration, Biden administration, Bush administration, Obama administration. They're telling you they're all administrations. They're not the actual government. And that's what people don't understand. These people are representatives, and the actual term for them is a representative democracy. These people represent the government. They're not the government. When you see Donald Trump, when you saw Biden, you weren't seeing the government. That is not the government, okay? They are representative of government that left and right voted for, okay? That represents a democracy. That's what they are. The republic is here. It's not self executing. You have to execute it. This is why the Trump administration, the Biden administration, the Obama administration, the Bush administration, the Clintons, all the way down has always been taken to Supreme Court. Why would the government be taken to Supreme Court? Well, because it's not the actual government and they overstep their boundaries. But if there's no challenges from the people, guess what, guys? They run amok. And that's something that everyone needs to understand. The number one problem that everybody has is emotions and feelings. No logic, no reasoning, no knowledge, no facts, no evidence, just belief, emotions, feelings, and that's how we lose. That's how people are going out right now. It's all about what people feel instead of what's right. What's right? The Constitution. We lose that, it's game over. The only reason why we're winning and maneuvering through this court now is because we understand that document, you know. And that brings us into my approach at dealing with these family court systems, okay? And that is putting them in their judicial capacity. Get yourself out of administrative proceedings, okay? It's simple, it's easy, and you make them perform under what they're supposed to. Don't let them do agency policy on you. You have to make them act in their judicial capacity. Get rid of court attorney referees. Get rid of support magistrates. Get rid of all that. You need a judge. Just today, okay, I said these simple words, all right? Make sure I save this. I have some stuff up here that I'm going to share. that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. Not live streaming, but this is my purpose: is getting enough people. Enough people for me is one. Okay, one. Okay, that's enough. That's all I need. As long as one person gets this, I'm good. The same for everybody. This is for people who really want to stand. This is not for everybody. If I talk to 50 people on how to do this, only 3 to 5 is going to even get it, and only 3 is actually going to stand on it. Okay, because a lot of people have fear, doubt, okay, resentment, too much emotions. You will not be able to get through this if you're emotionally invested, because your feelings will get the best of you. And that's how these courts rule. They rule off of your feelings and emotions. Okay. That's how they win. They don't win any other way. They do not win. Okay. And I tell you, I there ain't nothing I ain't been through on this internet. Okay. I've been through it all. And I could point a fraud out in a minute. I could tell somebody who does not understand what they're talking about whatsoever. Okay. I could tell you someone who has not been through the process. I could tell you someone who doesn't understand the process. Okay. And people are out here paying these people, which, I get it for the real ones. But for me, you know, knowledge is the power. Okay. Me giving somebody something and them receiving it and standing on it, money can't, you just can't buy that feeling to see somebody succeed and get their, situation taken care of. And again, I always say this is not for people who have harmed other people, whether it's your significant other, I don't give a damn whatever your gender preferred and all that other stuff. If you harm somebody, this ain't for you. If you harmed your kids, this ain't for you. If you harmed your children, I don't want nothing to do with you. Okay. This is for people who have not harmed their children. Okay. Now, if you haven't seen them, that's different. As long as you have not physically harmed your children, put your children in danger. Okay. This is for you. All right. If you put hey, everybody got, consequences. That's morals and principles. Okay. Everybody has to be account able. Okay. Account able, meaning they have the ability to account for their actions. Okay. And there's some things that I'm going to read that are very powerful. I'll probably go for an hour. I'm not going to make it too long, but my videos, I'm going to tell you, my videos are lengthy. I don't have an Instagram mentality. I don't have a TikTok mentality. I don't have shorts mentality. Okay. I do shorts to get people here. All right. And no, I don't need glasses. These are blue light glasses. Okay. So, my videos are going to be long. If you don't like it, you can fast forward. This ain't for you. If you don't have the time, this ain't for you. I purposely make long videos because the people that get it will stick around. The people that get it are the ones that's going to pay attention. The people that get it and stick around are the ones that are willing to stand on it. The ones that sit through it and get it and understand it are going to be the ones who succeed. Okay. There's reasons for this stuff. All right. They had shortened the average person's attention span to nothing. Okay. And the other thing they did is everything is about how people feel and emotions. I'm gonna tell you straight up, I'm not like that. All right. I don't listen, whatever you gotta put that aside because that'll get in the way of business. Okay. They don't have no feelings. You ain't supposed to have no feelings. Keep them out of, okay, your situations, because that's how they win. You got to stand on business. Okay. So, things to know. Number one, you're in control. Okay. You're in control. Your emotions have to be in check. Okay. You can be direct You don't have to be irate. Please refrain from sovereign citizen trash that you hear on the internet. Okay. You have to understand. I'm gonna break that down in a whole video on sovereign citizen and show you guys, how you've been duped and how people run from something that is actually true. Okay. I may do it in this video. You know, this is like the icebreaker because I've broken a lot of you know stigmas on the internet. Okay, because I've been on the internet for many years. I've been, you know, the truther realms and stuff like that. Dropping just unbelievable amounts of information. On the ground, out, been all over the country doing all kind of stuff. But I realized no one's awake. There's like 10 people awake. Everybody's asleep and learning that with another brother, and we came to the conclusions that, man, they put us all under a spell again. So a lot of people are awakened, but are actually in a deeper spell because now you can't tell nobody anything. Everybody knows it all, you know? Now there's a thing of understanding what you're talking about where you can prove it and verify it in facts and evidence, and it's right there. And then there's cognitive dissonance where people have learned, a so-called awakening, which just is another religion and a belief, and that they can't back their foundations up with anything but the belief that they fell into. And a lot of this is going on the internet, but that's besides the point. So, anyways, I kind of moved away from that because I'm like, okay, that got nowhere. All right, people got more apart, more fighting, more self-centered, more egotistical, just trash. There's no truth communities, no truthers. That's all just trash. It's CIA mind control. Okay, they did a good job with it. Okay, Project Gateway, the Gateway program. I mean, all this is mind control. All right, the CIA, you got to tip their hats off to them, on how they manipulate the masses. Okay, people that are actually awakened are actually further asleep than what people would call a sheep. Okay, so I came back, to down, from those realms, and I was like, I gotta. This is where it counts. Teaching people the Constitution, teaching people the real foundations of everything. Okay, instead of decoding the matrix and trying to figure out, oh, this is fake, that's fake, the moon and all this other shit, whatever, the earth is, this and this and just everything in between. Okay, you realize they kept us busy so they can destroy the foundations, okay, that are keeping us somewhat free. Once this is gone, I mean, it's gone, guys. Once the Constitution is out of here, it's out of here. And that's why you see this border crisis. This is to get you to piss on your um, Constitution. Just where I'm at in my city, um, you know, uh, I stirred up you know, one hell of a bee's nest. And I just, because I see our Constitution being destroyed. And long story short, I got out and documented, uh, you know, Border Patrol agents and, all this other stuff. And I just documented and said, hey, look, this isn't even constitutional in a sanctuary city. And now, I mean, it's national news. But anyways, um, yeah. So back to this whole family court, thing that we all got going on. All right. And if you don't got it going on, one day you might have it going on. All right. We have to understand um, what they're doing. Okay. I mean, there's so many things that they're doing, and again, people say, I'll go on and on. I could probably do a 6 hour stream just dropping all kinds of information. But the first thing they do, obviously, is to generate funds. All right, generate revenue. Okay. Unfortunately, off our backs. Um, you know, the element of family law is there. Okay. And that's what I found. You got to pull it out. You got to get them out of that side and put them over here, and your whole life changes. You know, once my case is done, I'll be able to share everything, and just it's good. It's a really real eye opener, man. There's a reason why I've been put through family court for so many years by an XX and an X. All right, and it always it always turns out for the best. But anyways, what I did today was said these little words. I'm gonna try to pull it up on the screen for you. All right, let me do a screen. Present, share screen. The window. No, this got to be over here. Window. Is it this one? Let me see if this is the one. It looks blank to me, but let's see what it is. Okay, yeah, this will work. This will work, but I gotta change something. All right, share screen. Not the entire screen, no. Window, no. Chrome tab, no. And okay. All right. Now, I wonder if you can see this. I'm going to make the bolt larger. Okay. I will make it larger so you guys can read it. Okay. Now, this is what I said today. Okay. I says, I appear by special appearance only to challenge jurisdiction. I do not consent to these proceedings, and I reserve all rights under the Constitution, including due process. I object to any order entered without proper service or notice ab initio. Okay. Now, why did I do that? Well, because I have an ex trying to bring a child support matter in front into me. So I appeared, okay, by special appearance only. And what happened was after they said, okay, the parties are both here, state your name for the record. Boom. I said, okay, I would like the record to reflect I appear by special appearance only to challenge jurisdiction. I do not consent to these proceedings. I reserve all rights under the Constitution, including due process. I object to any order entered without proper service or notice ab initio. That means anything before that was enacted is void. Okay, it's void ab initio. So right after that, okay, the support magistrate says such and such. The respondent is not submitting to the jurisdiction. Therefore, you have to get him served. I will adjourn this matter so you can, do that. I will send you a, service packet and all this other goody goods that you said. Shout out to the one person that found me. Oh, it's the beautiful lady. Okay, shout out to the beautiful lady, the beautiful wife. All right, I thought somebody was watching me. We'll get there. I'll get there. So, um, then they made up another date, and then they asked the other party if that date works. And then the other party said no. And then they made another date. Said, does that date work? Then it came back to me, and I said, okay. What I said was, 1 second. Where is it at? Hold on 1 second. What I said was, all right, let me move this thing. Hold on. It's like going super slow. Okay. Now we're cooking faster. All right. What I said after that was, okay, after they came back to me, how does the date, I think it was June, I forgot what date it was, June something. Does the date June something work for you? And what I stated was, I do not understand. I cannot consent to any proceeding I do not fully and lawfully understand. And she said, okay, it's understood. Um, the date will be such and such, Miss such and such, such. You need to serve him before the date, such and such. See you later. Okay. Simple as that. So what that entails is that person has to serve me, okay, in order for the case to go on. But what the judge did, okay, well, the support magistrate, what they did was stick their foot in hold on 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. It says two people watching. Shout out to the other person that's watching that stumbled across my channel. Um, so what we have, okay, after that, when this support magistrates gave the petitioner advice on serving, okay, um, clearly she went into, oh, there's another person watching. Shout out to the other person that's watching. Um, she clearly went into uh, a bear trap, okay, and let me see if I could find my notes, okay. Let me see if I can find my notes on what this lady did, okay, by giving advice. Um, let me see if I can find. I might have lost it. Okay. Now, what she did when she gave advice to um, the respondent, she actually um, constitutional principles, okay, and case law, including administrative agencies, cannot interfere with parental rights without proper judicial proceedings, right? Not just through administrative hearings, all right? The 14th Amendment, which is a due process clause, the U.S. Supreme Court has long held that um, hold on, no, this is not. This is my other notes. No, wait, this is right. No, hold on, this isn't it. No, that's not it. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry about that. Um, Let me find my. I forgot where I left the notes at for. As soon as I was done with her, I went straight to LexisNexis and what she did. Okay. 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 Here it goes right here. All right. Now, the hearing officer is not a full job. Obviously, we know that, right? Now, the petitioner gave advice on how to serve the respondent. Now, I had everything open. So I have LexisNexis open. And if you guys get a chance, get LexisNexis or Westlaw online. It is, well, I'm telling you, unreal. Okay. This is what the attorneys use. This is unbelievable information. Okay. Um, it gives you everything like that in an instant. I mean, this thing is case law, federal, state, uh, district courts, um, Article 3, case precedents, history, law history, interpretations. Um, it's unbelievable, guys. You guys gotta. I mean, this thing will. It's just, people use Chat GTP. This is like 1,000 times more powerful than Chat GTP or DeepSeek or whatever it is. Okay, it's 1,000 times more, and just get it, anyways. So while this was over, I was jotting notes down, and as soon as she was done, I said, "Wow!" As soon as I hung up, I said, "Wow!" I just read that to her. Okay, which what I read was, all right, simple, simple, simple words. Okay, and those words were. I'm gonna read it again. Again, my videos are longer, so if you don't like long videos, you got to go to Snapchat, Instagram, get your flick on, and program your brain. Okay, but it's not happening here. So if one person's here and gets it, hey, you can get it. All right. So the only thing I read was, come on. The only thing I read, to give you a quick overview, was she asked me, um, okay, the both parts are here, such as to state your name, told me, state my name. I said, I am, no, what I said, I appear I said, let the record reflect that I appear by special appearance only to challenge jurisdiction. I do not consent to these proceedings, and I reserve all the rights under the Constitution, including due process of law. I object to any order entered without proper service or notice, void ab initio. And the judge right after that says the respondent is not submitting to the jurisdiction. You must have him served. Have you have him served? Nope. You must have him served. We'll set the date, such and such, such and such, such and such. Can you make the date? Such, such, such. And then they got the date. They came back to me, and I said, simply, I said these words right here. I said, sorry, guys. So I'm all over the place. Serious? Hold on, I must have lost it. Now, what the freak is going on? Sorry about that, but I lost it. I basically says I said I do not. How do I lose that? That's stupid. I lost that. Yeah, I lost that. Oh, let's see if I can get it back. Okay, yeah, there it goes. No, I literally lost it. Anyways, I said that I could not proceed. Oh man, I forgot what I said exactly. I can't believe I lost that. I should have memorized those four little lines. Oh man, that's not gonna work. I just covered up my name. Okay. But anyways, what I told them is I cannot proceed. I do not understand. I cannot proceed forward with this process. Um, and they said that they understood and kept it moving. Okay. And what I'm doing is standing on the Constitution. Okay. Strictly standing on the Constitution. So, you know, um, so after that, after I realized, okay, they just gave advice. They said they're going to send them, okay, the support magistrate who's supposed to be impartial. Keep in mind, this is law 101. All right, this is how you know you're not dealing with law 101. This is how you get these people out of your life. Okay. Now you stated all that. You're going to send a service packet, giving her advice right there. That's impartial. Okay, that's it is what it is. So now okay, a hearing officer, not a full judge, all right, gave the petitioner advice on how to serve the respondent. I wrote all this down when this happened. Okay, gave the petitioner advice on how to serve the respondent, which is me, during the hearing itself. The court is offering to send service paperwork to help the petitioner complete service properly. All right. Meanwhile, the respondent, me, objected that I have not been properly served and that the court is violating constitutional due process by moving forward without proper service. So what are they doing? they're still moving forward because they set a court date without me being served, which should have been dismissed. Okay. Now, impartiality, right? A hearing officer is supposed to be neutral. Giving advice or helping one side during a hearing destroys the appearance of fairness and impartiality. Okay. Violating judicial ethics. Again, it's an administrative proceeding, but still, they have to follow the law. All right. Because another thing is what happens is the agency petitions the court to petition us through the court to come to court. That's what they don't tell you. Okay. They petition, and a shout out to this brother. Um, is goes on YouTube by the name of Yah is Magnifying. This brother is, if anybody came across him and you need help with child support, this is not my thing. I'm just using this for family court to show you how the law works. That's his thing. Okay. He's helped me out tremendously to understand many things. Okay. Okay. But I have, my thing is custody. So, you know, I will co-sign for this brother all day long. No one else on YouTube, no one else I've ever heard of come close to what this brother provides. Okay. So just keep that in mind. So um she literally, okay, should have dismissed the case, but she didn't, which opened up the door for the case to go bye-bye. All right. Because you literally just gave the other party advice. You're not supposed to do that. They're supposed to figure that out on their own. Okay. Now, under the United States Constitution, the 14th Amendment, and the New York State Constitution, you have right to proper service of process before any legal action can proceed against you. Most of us already know this, right? If you weren't served properly in person by certified mail or legal rules, the court has no jurisdiction over you yet. So what is she doing? How's she going to make another court date without me being served? All right, and then give advice. Administrative hearing abuses. Right, family court often runs administrative style hearings without strict adherence to constitutional protection, but they must still respect service, notice, and opportunity to be heard before any decision can be valid. All right. Already a decision to move forward is invalid because I was not served. She knows I wasn't served. And then she gives advice to the other party to serve me. So I'm just showing you how you move under the law. Okay. Now, when a court officer helps the petitioner correct mistakes during the hearing, it creates conflict of interest and may amount to denial or of a fair hearing for the other party, which is me, the respondent, right? So, um, no action can be taken until proper service is made according to the law. The hearing must be invalidated, dismissed, or adjourned. Okay, and that's what she did, but she was supposed to dismiss it. Okay. The hearing officer's conduct itself may be grounds for an appeal, motion to vacate, or even a judicial complaint at the New York State's Commission on Judicial Conduct. All right. And, you know, so that's the situation that happened. Already, I'm looking at which angle that I should go as far as removing that. Okay. Because it's all, it's downhill now. You're siding with one side. That's not supposed to happen. Okay. So, um, yeah. So again, I just want to demonstrate how all this is just standing on constitutional principles, guys. Due process. Don't let these people walk all over you. Okay. Understanding that there's an administrative side, but there's a judicial side, and they got to follow the judicial side. If they don't follow the judicial side, that's when you remove them. Now, going into, I'm going to do a full 360 going into custody. Shout out to the two people watching, whoever you may be. when you get into custody, okay, custody itself is 100% separate from child support, okay? They don't even correlate with each other, all right? If you let them do it, they're going to do it. I don't do that. Me, it's totally separate. People are like, oh, how are you going through this and administrative proceeding and you're submitting to the jurisdiction and, all this internet garbage. No, it don't work like that, okay? I understand, and the family court understands that I'm going to, that they're totally different. They can't even be mentioned in there because one, when you're keeping the family court under judicial capacity, they can't even weigh in anything administratively because right then and there they know it's not even due process. They can't even talk about it. But if you're in an administrative hearing and you're in custody, they're going to run you through a muck and they're going to merge both of those together. All right. Which they can't. All right. But they can if you let them. Okay. And again, I don't get into what people say. Don't submit to the jurors. Don't do all this. Don't do all that. I don't. No, no. It's way easier than that. Okay. And what I'm going to do is before I go further, again, this is just a rough draft. This is all over the place. It's just, it is what it is. And again, I got to do my disclaimer. Okay. I'm not no lawyer. All right. And I'm not pretending to be a lawyer. I'm just giving you factual information. Okay. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. And I'm going to put my little disclaimer up here. Turn your volume down for 2 seconds. Just get your attention. All right. I'm going to play my disclaimer so people know. Okay. Get you one of these. All right, so hopefully people got that. That's my disclaimer. Okay. Um, how should I approach this? Because I want to approach this the easiest way possible. Hold on 1 second. Boys saying goodnight, So yeah, my boys saying goodnight. I'm missing two, but they'll be coming around. They'll be coming around the mountain, Just gotta go through this period that we all gotta go through. If you landed here, you're going through some stuff. I do swear a lot. I'm gonna try to keep it clean on this channel, but I do curse beyond, I am a spell breaker, but aka a cursor. So how do I want to approach this? Because like I said, I want to do this to where people can grasp what I'm saying and get the foundation so they know, and understand when they're in these proceedings what's going on. A lot of people just spit out information and then it's pick it up wherever you are, but it doesn't work like that. We got to understand definitions, like, coming from one of these right here. See, a lot of people talk about these black law dictionaries, but they leave out the most important dictionary. Okay. And this dictionary birthed all the dictionaries. You definitely want to get you law dictionaries. Okay. I mean, I have gems. Okay. Like I said, you got the law dictionary. Everybody should get them one of these. Okay. This is from, I think, in the early 1900s. I mean, this breaks down everything. Okay. This is from 1765. Okay. And this tells you how the game works. All right. See that right there? I gotta fix this stupid circle on the screen and flip it around so you can see it. But this breaks down how the law works. Laws, okay? The several departments of branches of law may be thus shown. Laws. And then it branches over to between God and man. Between God and man. Natural law. Revealed law. National or municipal law. International law. Then it breaks down to canon or ecclesiastical law. Common law. Equity. Public or criminal. Private or civil. Okay? Now, these are things that people really need to know and learn. Words don't go extinct, okay? Only the information goes extinct that's in people's minds. Words don't go extinct, all right? And another thing that people forget, all right, where's the other one? You know, get you one of these, an etymology dictionary, okay? Huge. Another, you know, obviously get books, you know, but with technology, you can get everything online, all right? Get you this Black's Law Dictionary. This is the third edition, okay? Everybody talks about the third edition, the fourth edition, the fifth edition, the seventh edition. I got this Webster Dictionary from 1800 down there, like it's the biggest book I own. And then I got the seventh edition dictionary. All kinds of books. All right. But what people don't know is you need to get you the first edition, okay? Because that's where the jewels sit. And that's what I've been showing people so they can understand who they are, what's going on. And I mean, this book opened up a lot, all right? It opened up a lot. And there's a reason why the fake gurus on the internet never talk about it, okay? They never talk about the one that birthed all the dictionaries made in 1870, okay? This isn't 1870. Yeah, 1870. Okay. And I'm going to actually pull it up to show you guys what they've been hiding from us, okay? What they've been calling sovereign citizen language. All right. And I totally debunked the sovereign citizen term. And the reason why I want to tell you guys this, guys, okay, is because these people will try to call you a sovereign citizen in the courtroom, okay? And let me see what I got for that. Why isn't it pulling? Where is it going? Okay, it's going on this screen. I don't want it to go on this screen. All right. Okay, I'm going to bring it over here. All right. I'm going to show you something real quick. Take that out. Take that out. Take that out. Forgive me, guys. I'm going to take all this stuff out. Show you what I do, and then show you. Take that out. Come on, guys. Give me a second. Okay, I'm gonna take that out. Okay, take this out. I'm basically redacting some stuff so I can show you guys, you know, what I do, because what the stuff that I'm teaching you, okay, is stuff that will get you this label, all right? And all you're using is law, so there really isn't, you know, there's nothing to it except for letting them know your position. So okay, boom, 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 boom. Because this is a template that I give people. So let me do it real quick. All right, let me see. And I will show you why with the dictionary, and then that'll be it for today. Okay. Okay. Make sure. Okay, I'm going to read this to you. We're going to go through it. I think I'm going to go ahead and enlarge all this so everybody can see it. No, I'll leave it in this form. We should be able to see it good once I bring it over here. All right. You know what? I might come out kind of. That's all right. So I'm going to share this screen. All right. Share the screen, and I'm going to read this to you. And I'm going to share this screen. And I'll get better as I go along. I'm done technology and all this crap. It's not my thing. Window. Well, yeah. No, not that one. Cover letter. Okay, right here. Boom. See if it comes up. Let's see if I get it. I wonder if I can go bigger on it. Can I go bigger? Let me see. Damn, I don't know how to use this crap. Hold on. Sorry about that. Hold on. Share screen. No, not that one. Okay, yeah, this one. This one right here. Okay. Now, let me get it a better, bigger. Okay. Now this right here, hopefully you guys can see it. All right. Now, this is what I file. Okay. At the beginning of the proceeding. Okay. Now, this is a notice of clarification and objection to the mischaracterization as sovereign citizen and affirmation of constitutional adherence. Okay. That's what this is called. And this you send to everybody. You let them know, and you're putting this on the record, so they're not, calling you a sovereign citizen or anything of that nature. Okay. Now, to and all interested parties, please take notice that I, the undersigned, your name, respectfully submits this notice of clarification and objection to any reference, implication, or characterization of myself as a sovereign citizen in these proceedings or in any related filing, records, or communications. Now, the reason why I put it as clarification, all right, I respectfully submit this notice of clarification and objection to any reference, implication, or characterization of myself as a sovereign citizen in these proceedings or related filings, records, or communications, right? What I'm doing is clarifying on the record, okay, what the term actually means, and that you can say whatever you want, okay? But I'm not what you think a sovereign citizen is, and I'm going to show them right here. This label is inaccurate, misleading, and legally inapplicable to my stated position. I do not subscribe to, endorse, or identify with any of the ideologies commonly associated with the so-called sovereign citizen movement. Any such characterization is factually incorrect and may prejudice my rights in this matter by creating a false or distorted perception of my legal argument and intentions. One, purpose of this notice to clarify that I do not identify with, subscribe to, or advocate for any ideology commonly referred to in legal or public discourse as sovereign citizen. They know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm reading this. Hold on, I need the full scope of this. Okay. To affirm that I operate entirely within the framework of the Constitution of the United States and the laws of its recognized legal systems. Because what they try to do is push you into this pool of sovereign citizen trash, garbage, right? Okay. And you have to let them know you understand, okay? Because what it is they think all sovereign citizens think they're above the law and the law don't apply to them. I mean, no, I'm not. I don't have that idea. I'm a firm believer and stand on the Constitution. So I can't be above the law if I'm applying the law. And I'm not the creator endowed God and all this other shit that you see on in these realms. Okay, no, leave that rhetoric alone. Stick to the law and facts. You don't got to say the blood flowing through the body and all this other stuff. You don't have to do all that, okay? You don't got to do any of that. They know who you truly are. You don't got to do none of that crap, all right? A lot of these agents put a lot of this crap out here you do not need. This, okay, this document is clarifying that you ain't that, all right? Now this, when I'm done with this, you're gonna be like, whoa, that is some powerful stuff, all right? Because this actually asserts your position and role in front of them, and they know when your paperwork coming forward, they better get on their P's and Q's, okay? Because I've been called this in court and made them clarify on the record, okay? This is just refreshing it, okay? Again, so okay, so now the purpose of this notice, I already read that, to clarify that I do not identify with, subscribe to, or advocate for any ideology commonly referred to in legal or public discourse as sovereign citizen. And that's what they try to do. In their realms, they try to put it all under, oh, these are sovereign citizens, same thing as conspiracy theorists, or same thing as Trump supporter, or same thing as leftist liberal, or whatever. They just do that so people brainwash themselves into, oh, yeah, these people are crazy. No. You're not going to do that here. So to affirm that I operate entirely within the framework of the Constitution of the United States and the laws of its recognized legal systems. Okay. Now I should have put lawful system, but I put legal. They understand. They know where I'm coming from because I put laws of its recognized legal systems because it is what it is. There is a difference between legal and lawful, but when you put the context behind it, they know exactly what you're talking about. Okay. Don't get caught up in a lot of this stuff that you hear. All right. Now, to formally place on the record that my advocacy for constitutional protections, due process, and lawful conduct does not constitute anti-government sentiment, nor does it place me outside or above the rule of law. You're stating it clear on record. You're not going outside. You're not going above. You're staying right in the framework. You're not anti-government. How could you be anti-government when you are one of the people? Okay. And you understand that you're one of the people. You cannot possibly be anti-government. Okay. that's an oxymoron. Sovereign citizen is not an oxymoron, but anti-government, yeah, that's an oxymoron. If you're stating all this, you can't be anti-government. Okay. Sorry. They try to push that on people and people do adopt that ideology. And there have been agents who did all this crap. No, Okay, we're not above the law. You can't be above the law when the people created this constitution, which holds the government. You're under this law too. Okay, you're under the law too. You're under the common law. Okay, basically, do unto others that would be undone to you. Or, when you damage somebody, you have to be responsible. You have to respond and be able to deal with the consequences. Okay. Anyways, number two, rejection of mischaracterization. I am a law abiding freeman. Okay. And look at the word I'm using. I'm using sovereign citizen terms there. But wait, it gets better. Who seeks to assert and uphold my constitutional rights and responsibility through lawful means. I do not claim to be above the law or beyond the law in any capacity. The term sovereign citizen has, in some instances, been misapplied or used projectively by certain agencies, government organizations, and institutions to discredit or marginalize individuals who advocate for constitutional protections or raise legitimate procedural concerns. Such a label is inaccurate, inappropriate, and prejudicial, and I respectfully reject any application of it to my person or this proceeding. All right. And I use the word person. Don't fall for that crap that you hear on the internet. Use the word person. Okay. Because they're a natural person and artificial person. You're letting them know already that you're the natural person anyway. So they're not going to put you in it as an artificial. They apply the terms to you. You assert these terms, okay, for yourself. They're not self executing. Law is a different language. You have to speak their language. Okay. Three, legal definitions and clarifications. In the interest of legal clarity and proper context, I respectfully submit the following definition to the record. These are drawn from Black's Law Dictionary, the first edition, 1891, to illustrate the foundational and historical understanding of the term citizen as used in American jurisprudence. Citizen, see Exhibit A. I attached this right to it, okay? Page 206. In general, a member of a free city or jural society, civitas, possessing all the rights and privileges which can be enjoyed by any person under its constitution and government and subject to the corresponding duties. In American law, one who is under the constitutional laws of the United States has a right to vote for civil officers and is qualified to full elective offices. Next, this is what it says. It starts the sentence off, one of the sovereign people, period. Once I read that, when I discovered this, I said, there's nothing else to talk about to these people. I discovered this like 3 years ago, and been debunking the whole sovereign citizen garbage because right up here, the term says citizen. Right down here, it says one of the sovereign people. So that would mean sovereign citizen is not an oxymoron. That means a citizen is sovereign because it says it. Citizen is one of the people, period. A constituent member of the sovereignty, synonymous with the people. It doesn't get more clear than that, okay? This isn't made up. Definitions, people are always, the definitions change over time. No, what? In law, the language does not change. That's why there's case law back from the 1700s, 1800s, late 1700s, after the Constitution was put in place, and in the 1800s. So no, this language doesn't disappear. It don't go extinct. You have to find it and you have to pull it out. Okay. So right there, citizen, one of the sovereign people, a constitute member of sovereignty, synonymous with the people. Okay. 19 How 404. That was a case law. A member of the civil state entitled to all its privileges, Cooley, Constitutional Law 77. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state where they reside. There goes the state citizen and U.S. citizen, which are two different beasts. Okay. Um, okay. There, in our political system of government of each of the several states and government of the United States, each is distinct from the others and has citizens of its own who owe allegiance, who and whose rights within its jurisdiction it must protect. The same person may be at the same time a citizen of the United States and a citizen of a state, but his rights of citizenships under one of these governments will be different from those he has under the other. Very important stuff right there, guys. The government of the United States, although it is within the scope of its powers, supreme and beyond the states, can neither grant nor secure to its citizens rights or privileges which are not expressly or by implication placed under its jurisdiction. All that cannot be so granted or secured are left to the exclusive protection of the states. Citizen, an inhabitant, and inhabitant are not synonymous. One may be a citizen of a state without being an inhabitant, or an inhabitant without being a citizen. Citizens sometimes use synonymous with resident, as in the statute authorizing funds to be distributed among religious societies, a town of worships, proportionately to the number of their members who are citizens of the township. All right. So that's the definition I put under citizen. So when they want to say sovereign citizen, I'm letting them know that that term does exist. It's a misconception because citizen means one of the sovereign people. Period. That's it. A constitution member of the sovereignty, synonymous with the people. So it is what it is. Next, a freeman. See Exhibit B, Black's Law Dictionary, page 520. This word has various meanings, different stages and histories. In the Roman law, it denoted one who was either born free or emancipated, and was the opposite of a slave. In feudal law, it is designed as an allodial proprietor, as distinguished from vassal or feudal tenant. In Old English law, the word described a freeholder or tenant by free services, one who was not a villain. In modern legal philosophy, is the application of a member of a city or borough having the right of suffrage, a member of any municipal corporation invested with full civic rights, a person in possession and enjoyment of all the civil and political rights according to the people under a free government. Historically, one who is neither a slave nor a villain, one holding land or status of free of servitude. So when you put you're a lawful freeman, that's what I put in my documents. That's letting them know that comes from you, not me. That's not sovereign citizen crap. Okay. Well, it is, but it's the real sovereign citizen, which is right. Okay. And then lawful. All right. When I say I'm a lawful freeman, lawful means legal, warranted, or authorized by law, having the qualifications prescribed by law, not contrary to nor forbidden by law. Lawful implies ethical and moral substance, not merely technical compliance. And that's why I state everything I state in here, because I'm not a sovereign citizen under your ideology, the anti-government, because right here, I'm saying I'm a lawful freeman, meaning I'm legal, warranted, or authorized by law, having the qualifications prescribed by law, not contrary to nor forbidden by law. I'm not above it. Lawful implies ethical and moral substance, not merely technical compliance. That's a whole, this right here I'm giving you guys is a damn jewel, okay? Next, lawful man. See Exhibit C, Black's Law Dictionary, page 595. A freeman, unattended, capable of bearing oath, allegiance homo, okay? This is why you put this in there, because you're capable to bear oath, all right? Now, next 4, affirmation of a lawful status and intent. I reaffirm I am not above the law, nor do I reject lawful authority. I accept the jurisdiction of the court insofar as it operates in harmony with the U.S. Constitution. I operate under the common law, constitutional law, and statutory law, and I invoke protection therein, not to evade accountability, but to secure it as applied equally. Okay? Prayer for clarification on the record. Therefore, I respectfully request that this court refrain from referring to characterizing or associating me with the term sovereign citizen or any ideology inconsistent with the lawful and constitutional nature of my actions and statements. I do not subscribe to, identify with, or support the beliefs commonly attributed with the so-called sovereign citizen movement, which are frequently associated with anti-government sentiment or a rejection of established legal authority. My participation in these proceedings is based solely on my good faith efforts to seek justice, uphold my constitutional rights, and ensure due process under the law. Any mischaracterizations of my position in this regard may create a false and prejudicial narrative undermine the fair consideration of my claims and motions before the court. The parties, agencies, or officers of the court who reference this misnomer be instructed to cease and desist from such labeling absent actual evidence of extremist ideology or unlawful conduct. This notice be entered into the official record of the proceeding to affirm my position to avoid future misinterpretation or prejudice. I affirm under penalty of perjury, boom, 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 boom. And I use the term right here, a freeman, knowing to use the name, boom, right there. And I put United States codes under there. And that's a um a uh a notice of clarification and objection to mischaracterization as a sovereign citizen and affirmation of constitutional adherence, letting them know that, hey, no, I'm here standing on the Constitution. That's it. That's supreme law of the land. Why wouldn't we stand on that? I mean, seriously, we got nothing else, you know? So do I want to go over the definition? I just read them on here. I mean, I could show you the definitions, you know. I could show you the definitions. I could show you guys the definitions, but I mean, it's pretty much, I just read them. I don't really have to go through it all again, you know. So the term sovereign citizen, you know, so that's an oxymoron, because right in the definition, citizen says one of the sovereign people. I mean, citizen, one of the sovereign people. So that means citizens are sovereign. I mean, there's no oxymoron. And they think about why they created that. Think about it, guys. They don't want people knowing this, man. Because again, they're operating under an, all right. What are my other notes? I don't want to go through all these notes because I kind of going to end it in the next 10 minutes or so. I'll probably end an hour and 30 minutes. File. Child support notes. And where is this going? Let me close this out. Close that one out. No, I don't need that one either. No, I'm not using that one. Okay. Oh man, these are a lot of notes. So so yeah, I'm just giving you the foundations of who you are when you go in these courts. Okay. What I just read with the sovereign citizen is letting you know that you are inherently sovereign. The government works for us, guys. When you get pulled into family court through a petition, okay, or you bring yourself to court, you're the petitioner respondent. Divorce, you know, same thing. And this, what the freak? And this is how you know that you're dealing with two agencies, because when you go get a divorce, the divorce is Supreme Court, which is a law. That's where it's supposed to be. They kick it down to the administrative proceedings and play Jerry Springer. And then once it's all said and done, it gets pulled back up to the Supreme Court and say, okay, you guys came to an agreement. Da, 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 da. It'll read, I read everybody's divorce. I said, it's your agreement. You didn't fight. You guys agreed to it. It was a big fight, but at the end they put both parties agreed. Both parties, after stipulations, both parties came to an agreement. Both parties decided. Both, and is hereby ordered. You know, um, so they're letting you know there's two different jurisdictions. Administrative falls under the executive branch of government. All right, it's not judicial. They don't have to abide by. If you're consenting and going along with it, it's sufficient enough and stands on its face unless challenged. Okay, so you have to get yourself into a judicial proceeding, and that's what I do. I get myself into, I got myself into a judge. No court attorney referees, no, none of that. All right. Child support, I mean, they're going to do whatever they want. Okay. But there's still a judge in the child support that's over that. And that's who you're really talking to. Okay. Because there's an agency that's bringing a claim against you. Okay. And using the family court, all right, as the weapon that creates the contract that they enforce from the agency. So, family court, a lot easier. It's cut and dry. We make it harder than it's supposed to be. You know, if you have not harmed your kids, nothing gets taken away from you unless you let it. Simple. Simple. It's that easy. Okay. So it should be split. And if the other one's acting wild, it should be full custody with the man. All right. Because that's how law used to work for the men. All right. I don't want to get into all that. I got so much information. Like I said, it's kind of hard for me right now to see. There's so much to like share so people can grasp what's going on, you know. And yeah, I kind of like like level it out. Um, because mostly this all comes in from us. All right. Breakups are bad, that emotion, they know this. They use their energy against us. They use all those emotions, feelings, animosity right against us, man. We end up getting attorneys. They railroad us. They take our money. They play the game. There's not an attorney for you. Sorry, guys. Corpus juris secundum. Was it volume 7, section 4? Attorney to client, first duty to the court, to the client second. I mean, that's true. They uphold the integrity of the court before you. I'm a firm believer in, I know this is a fact. I already knew it, and then when I really knew it, I was like, wow. These dirty mother effers, But years ago, like 7 years ago, I would use an attorney for some stuff, So I had this attorney, man. I done paid him a lot of money, And then the judge told us to step out of the courtroom for a minute. I record everything, okay? And I had a phone in my folder recording. So I walked out, I left my phone in the folder. They ain't see it. Left out of the courtroom. Came back 5 minutes later, the case done, whatever. Go home, listen to it that night. I didn't think nothing was wrong. Let me listen. I forgot I recorded it. Let me listen to it. I don't think nothing happened. Like, oh, what about when I went out? I wonder what they said. I went and listened. My jaw hit the floor. Couldn't believe it. Like they tried to swindle my attorney into, well, they all conspired. They were like, well, if anyone can get in comply with you, they were joking, laughing. Like, did you see his necklaces? They were like, my medallions I use, my protections, my amulets I use going into the courtrooms to thwart that energy off. They were like, do you see his, and what's with this guy, And the one lady, he's hard, but you could get him. He was like, oh, I could try. I mean, I talked to him. Yeah, I can't make him do anything. Well, if there's anyone that can try, it's you. And they were literally conspiring to get me to comply to some bullcrap order. And luckily I didn't. I mean, I wasn't going to anyway, but because I already knew some things. But I'm like, what? And when I heard that, I had drafted up. I had drafted up a. I had him draft up a removal. He didn't want to do it, but he was already thick in, or you got to give me some money back. So I was like, how can I use this bonehead? And had him draft up a thing to remove and dismiss the law guardian. Man, that case came back over real quick. Case was over. All petitions withdrawn. Like it was unbelievable. I was like, whoa. He didn't want to do it, but he drafted it up, and I still use it as a template to give to people. You know, um, I had him do another document before, but then that's it. I didn't use him anymore. But and then I had attorney after that. I used him because I didn't understand this one process it was a lot. So I was like, man, I had got an attorney, and they're trying to put me through the ringer, all kind of stuff. And I got lucky. I got me a really good attorney that don't even that. I mean, he's old school, and he really liked how I understood the law and how I interpreted it and stood on it. So he helped me out a lot. But after that, never needed another one ever again. You know, and I still, that, you know, um, I kind of got to know the one attorney, and he tells me like, "Hey, man, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing up there." He said they know you well, meaning I ruffle a lot of feathers up there because the paperwork, how I hand it in, and just staying on business. They don't like dealing with me. They want me virtual all the time. They don't want me coming in there at all. It's always virtual. So, um, so yeah, I mean that's about it for this stream. It's already too long, hour and 32 minutes. And again, I try to share the information about the judge, about getting into the jurisdiction of a judicial court. And this can be done in any court. Okay, all the courts are saying any courts, you keep these people in the judicial capacity, whatever the case may be. Um, you know, I mean, I could just randomly pick. Let me do this. I'm gonna pick a. I can just go to some city. Let me see where I can go and tell you who you'll be dealing with. Let me go to. Where can I go? I'll do Buffalo, New York. City of Buffalo. City of Buffalo. Erie County Family Court. City of Buffalo Family Court. Let me see this. Let me go to familycourts.gov. Okay, now I'm going to put this screen over here and show you guys how they do you and how you get into the. Man, what you going on there? Come on, go across my screen. Come on. Why are you going over there? All right, well, we're going to do it on the screen. Shout out to whoever is watching, 2 people watching. I'm going to share the screen, show you how you look for. Okay, now you see how we have the city of Buffalo, right? Now you have magistrate directory, court staff. That's the chief clerk, okay? These are all the family court judges, okay? Now, departments, court attorney referees. These are all the court attorney referees in the city of Buffalo. These are what they're going to put on you, okay? All these people are running the scam in Buffalo, all right? And I'm not even going to call it a scam because it's not a scam. It's just they're using people's ignorance, okay? These people right here, okay, are the ones running that. Down here, child support. Look at how many judges, family court judges they got. And they do take cases, but Now, all these are honorables, right? So what you do if you're in just say whatever city you're in, I'm just going to say you're in Buffalo. So you're going to be in one of these most likely under the court attorney referees, right? Now, you as soon as you get in there, whatever, you get a petition, go to court, whatever, you're going to deny the stipulation, the referee stipulation. They always pass around that referee stipulation. You deny the referee stipulation and you demand a judge. You could do that in there. I would if I was somebody was coming to me, I'm like, look, okay, we're gonna file an affidavit right off the bat, and one of these people up here is gonna come. Let's just say it's Honorable Shannon Filbert, right? So what you're gonna do is take that, okay, and then you're gonna go to well, one second. You're gonna go to I gotta do this on a different screen. How the hell do you do it on a different screen? All right, hold on. You're gonna go to take the name. Oh, that's how you share it. All right, hold on. I gotta share it now. All right, Shannon Filbert, right? Boom. Okay. Now, what you do is, so now I got this. Oh, what the hell? It's getting stuck. Come on, it's not showing up. Add to stage. the Family Court Act does not even really apply in these because that's for the administrative side. Because I had a judge state everything outside of the Family Court Act and disregard a attorney for the children because those are administrative procedures. When you keep them in family law, okay, it goes by case precedent, okay, and and you know Article 3 adherence. All right, that's what they fall under. Okay. So I'll do more on this. Again, I didn't mean to be this long, but I'm kind of winging it. All right. Um, but I could read a little bit about um, you know, um, administrative judges. Um, okay, let me see. I'll give you some notes. Let me come over here. I'll share the screen over here real quick. Let me give you some notes. I'll do another make it a quick 2 hours. All right, we're gonna check this screen out. So apparently I haven't been using audio when I click out of the screen. So God dang it. I just wasted so much time. Oh man. What is that? That's stupid. I just wasted so much time. I literally talked most of the video and I'm sure it didn't have no audio. That sucks. Well, I'm gonna probably delete this stream and I'll have to do another one because I realized that I did a lot of talking on some parts where because I clicked because apparently when I removed myself, oh man, I just did all this work that I'm gonna have to redo it because when I take myself off of the screen, it turns off the mic. Oh well. I'm just gonna delete this stream anyway, but I'll try it again. But much love everybody, and I'll talk to y'all later.
So when you hear me speak and the things I say, I'm speaking to my people.
If you ask me, I'll tell you what is wrong with the world. We're being desensitized from the things we should feel. Living our lives in these times while we suffer inside, and we can't see the problems cause the masses are blind. Let's try and find a solution. We're not helping ourselves. We're walking around unattached and disconnected from self. Too comfortable and too scared. That's why we never rebel. That's why we catch me writing rhymes and trying to balance the scales. Put car on the roads. It seems like dawn of the dead. Zombies, robots, lemons being misled. It's like we're sheep to the slaughterhouse on the conveyor belt, about to self-destruct cause we're under a spell. We search for purpose but nothing ever surfaces. We need to be accountable cause we're deserving this. Alarm bells are ringing but it's like you refuse to wake up. Subconsciously you're hitting on the snooze. It's just another day in this world while we're living under the spell. When you travel through realms, just make sure you prevail. Elevate for yourself. You need to stop sleepwalking. We're blinded by the rubbish and glamorized materials. Imperialism has got us fearing rules. I'm tired of these rappers rapping about their cars and jewels. If you take a step back, they will define buffoons. The saddest thing is that they're in the minds of all the children. They keep our money motivated and that's how they kill them. But do we care? Young money's here. That's why I aim this 2 inches above your earlobe, so we can all start pulling in the same direction. Cause it seems to me like we've lost that connection. Man, you've sold your soul, so you show no affection. Get to know yourself and love your reflection. It's like your brain's a phone and you got no reception. Arm your mind with knowledge, use it as a weapon. Alarm bells are ringing, but it's like you refuse to wake up. Subconsciously you're hitting on the snooze. It's just another day in this world while we're living under the spell. When you travel through realms, just make sure you prevail. Elevate for yourself. You need to stop sleepwalking.
There has to be some accountability. You have to have some self-accountability. You have to say for yourself, what am I going to do that's right for me, man? When am I going to take ownership for what I do to me and my people?